All right, here we go again. Another check-in. This time we're going to bring on Kyle. While we wait for him, we'll give an update. We got a nice little rolling boil going. I think I'm going to do a 90-minute boil today. Oh, there's Kyle right there, so we'll bring him on as soon as we can. So yeah, I think I got about another hour to go. We're doing a simple hop schedule today. A bittering hop, and then one at the end. So I'm going to do a 60-minute hop edition. So Kyle's hopping on right now, and there he is. What's
Hey,
up, Kyle?
not too much. How you doing?
Not too bad. We're just getting our boil in. I'm going to be doing the bittering hop pretty soon, another 3 minutes. And what do you got going on over there? Who's that little guy?
This is my assistant brewer.
Yeah.
We're coming up on the end of his shift, child labor laws and all that, so he's gonna have to go do stuff. But we're working on a imperial stout that's boiling away down here.
Nice. So where are you at in the process? Just in the boil?
Almost done with the boil, so we have a few last hop additions, and then we're good to go.
Yeah.
You want to say bye to Ed? Say all right, that's our new trick. So I'll be right back. I'm gonna hand him off.
All right. While we're doing the assistant brewer handoff, I got another 2 minutes. So that Kyle, we'd like to call him Kiel because you K-E-I-L, and it's more fun to call him Kiel.
And my parents can't spell. Yeah.
So Kyle took the beer judging class with me, but
Yeah.
unlike me, he actually took the test and got certified.
Yep. Yep.
Cheers to that. So how's life being a BJCP judge?
That's a lot of fun. I mean, going and drinking beer for free and having people give you snacks. You know, it's good stuff. But
No,
Jeff, said that it was, it made him a better brewer and stuff, and that's really true. Even just going through the class, I'm sure you can attest that, you know, talking about traditional styles and stuff and what makes them what they are and flaws and how they come about is really, really useful.
oh yeah, for sure. And then just going through each style category and just getting a sample of what they're all about and being introduced to some of the categories you don't really necessarily ever try when you're out getting a pint somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah. I lived in Germany for 2 years and it didn't dawn on me until we took the class that it was like, there should never be like roasty, burnt flavor in a German beer. It just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
So that was cool.
So yeah, I want to ask you about that. So you still go to Germany a lot for work, right?
I've been out there a couple of times since. That's been nice. It's a lot. It's a lot of fun visiting and bouncing around. When you live there, you're kind of got the same style, same breweries that are local, and that's what you're limited to. I was lucky enough to have Hopfner and a couple others there that were pretty tasty, so that was cool.
Nice. So since you got a lot of experience with German beers, would you say that's one of your specialties when you brew, or what do you like to brew?
I guess it's 50% of my good beers because I have like two good beers. One of them's brewing today, the Imperial Stout. The other one's kind of a Czech Pilsner, and so not quite German, but close enough.
So tell us about this Imperial Stout.
And so it's up around 9%. I'm
I got
watching it because it's trying to boil over here at the
a,
moment, but
I got a
it's
hop
uh
here.
it's up around 9%. It's got 20 pounds of malt in it, so it's a hefty beer for 5 gallons. Um, it's got several different malts. Um, I'm a pretty sloppy brewer, and I don't have uh, super fancy thing. But the one thing I do well, I'll show you, is that I take good notes. And so here's my book here. Every beer that I ever brewed since 2007, and this
Nice.
one from today has I don't know, half a dozen, 8 different malts in it and a few different hops, and it kind of gets ended up adding it, pretty often. So it's a busy brew day, but it's a fun one to do, and tends to turn out pretty nice.
Do you ever switch it up and do anything funky with it, or is it just keep it with the base?
It's already a little funky. I didn't mention it there, but it's it's got a little bit of black pepper in it,
Oh,
um, and so you don't really taste it. It's kind of like salt in a sweet baking recipe. It's there. It brings out the flavors, but this particular recipe is a little light on the hops for an imperial stout, and so the black pepper helps bring out kind of that peppery hop character, and you don't really taste it as black pepper, but it helps balance things out and accentuate the hops and kind of round it out a little bit. So it's it's one of the ones I actually really like.
nice. Black pepper. All right. So, how is the lockdown treating you? You had a chance to do any other brewing, or is this your first one in a while?
Uh, this is my first one since the lockdown. I have ingredients for another that hopefully I'll get to. I expected it to be like 3 weeks. I knock out two brews and move on, but uh, the lockdown has been a challenge with trying to work from home full time. My wife's working from home full time, and we're
Yep.
with the around 15, 16 month old and no daycare.
Oh,
So
well,
that's one too many full time jobs for two people. But yeah, it is what it is. Better than most.
and,
Um,
and
things
you're
things
the
are going okay all in all.
and your handle is the Beer Explorer.
Yeah, I started that back. We're gonna add some hops here.
Like,
Um, I started that back in a few years ago. We moved to the Bay Area, and my wife realized that we weren't traveling around and doing quite as much as we wanted to, and so she came up with the idea of uh, doing, on average, a brewery a week for the year, and it'd be a way for us to kind of get out and see new areas and do
oh,
different stuff. And um, I started an Instagram page so that I could take some pictures and document that, and it was a lot of fun.
yeah,
Um,
you got a lot of fun beers on there that I see pop up every now and then.
yeah, it was a cool little way to get out. We went all over the Bay Area. I tried to take advantage of a few work trips and hit a few breweries while I was on those. And it was a good way to just see things because we'd go stop in a brewery, and sometimes it was like the brewery was the focus of the trip. That was definitely like going to Chico and touring Sierra Nevada. Like
Yeah,
that was the focus. But sometimes we'd just pop into a town and stop by a brewery at lunch and then go tour the town and see how that was what was there and things like that. So it was a good way to see the area.
that's awesome, man.
How,
So
how's the cream ale coming along?
it is coming. So I got another 54 minutes to boil here. It's a little darker than normal because I thought I had like a whole bag of Pilsner and I only had a little bit of it. So I had to do more churro than I wanted to. So a little darker, but it'll be all right. It'll work. Beer. It's only going good. I don't have to enter it
Yeah,
anyway.
sure. So what are you naming this one?
Not the cream catcher. Not the cream catcher.
Yeah, fair enough.
This is a out cream. There you go. Clean up ale.
Right on.
Uh, so have you grabbed any interesting beers while you've been locked down, or taking
I
part in?
did, and I saved one. I saved one to have with you because
Nice.
I have I've had this beer, and it's one of these you should drink fresh type of situations, but it's not something I felt like I could just sit down and drink by myself, while the kid watches Sesame Street or something. So um, it's been sitting around a little bit.
What do we got?
All right.
Another kegerator. Oh, the younger. There you go.
Yeah. So I figured, this is probably as close uh, as I'm gonna get to like having beers with the folks. So um, it's
With about
as
three
good
months.
a good a time as any to crack it open, I suppose, right?
What's about what, two and a half months old?
Yeah. Yeah. It's getting a little long in the tooth for a fresh triple. But
Younger. Oh, I don't do the lines, man.
so what do you got? What are you drinking?
I have. Let's see if I can. So I have the American wheat ale that I did last or like 3 weeks ago, and it is hazy as can be. I didn't put any. I didn't put any clarifiers or anything. But it's like the original haze right there. Probably better. Yeah, you can see how hazy that is.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's a cloudy one.
Yeah, but it was a clean the closet out ale for that one as well. I had all this wheat that I needed to use up, and I used some Holotor Blanc hops, so it's kind of got some grapefruit flavor to it. Yeah, turned out all right.
Nice, nice. Well, hey, cheers, man.
Yeah, cheers. Well, it's nice catching in. So you're about to wrap it up then, huh?
Yeah, I think I'm due for. Here we go. We'll do the last hop edition here.
All right.
This is some Pacific Jade, which I've actually been liking lately. It's got a nice flavor to it, nice aroma.
All right.
All right. All right.
Well, all
I
right, dude.
figured it's
We'll,
probably
we'll go
best
ahead.
to.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and wrap this up, and I'll let you get back to wrapping your brew day up, and we're gonna see where we're at, and I think we're checking in with Hoppy Sanchez next.
Right on. Hey, it was great to see all these. Thanks for doing this, Ed. I really enjoyed seeing Jeff and John and Brian and all that. A
Yeah,
lot of similar stories, a lot of similar ways people got into brewing, and benefits from the club and all that. So thanks for doing this. It was really nice to see everybody.
yeah. We haven't get a chance to brew and see some faces at least. So it's kind of cool that we're doing it virtually.
Exactly. I look
All right,
forward to seeing you at the next virtual homebrew club meeting. So cheers,
I'll be
man.
there. Cheers.
All right. Bye.